Hi guys, welcome back to my channel if you've been here before. Welcome if you're new. I'm Karen Casey. Today I'm doing a little first impressions on the Dare to Create 39A palette from Morphe, and creating a look around it. Yeah, easy peasy. So, welcome to my first video of 2018. I'm very excited to be doing videos again in the new year. Last year, I treated this as a little more like a hobby. This year, I'm getting really serious about it. I'm going to make sure that I post videos regularly. And I think the best way for me to stick to a schedule is to decrease the number of times I'm shooting to put up a video. Last time I was shooting for 3 days a week, and sometimes I wouldn't even put a video up that week. So I think I was shooting a little high given my life. So I'm going to back down to once a week. I'm shooting for Saturday, Sunday. Shooting for Saturday, could happen Sunday. And once I prove to myself that I can actually keep that schedule, I will increase the number of times I post a week. So going back down to once a week for a little bit. Saturdays. Okay? So let's just pop into the tutorial. Okay, so as usual, I have gone in with my concealer and set it with some translucent powder on my eyes just to prime my eyes. I like this because it creates a nice smooth base, but it also conceals any veins or redness or any, pigmentation going on. So I'm going in with the Dare to Create 39A palette from Morphe. I played with some of the transition shades down here because, hi, I'm Karen, I'm a makeup addict, and I have no self-control. But I did have enough self-control to not play with any of, the funky colors down here and up here. Just, that one, that one, that one, and that one. Okay, so I'm thinking I'm going to do some sort of funky colored halo eye. We'll see how that goes. So I'm going to start with this lightest transition shade, which is Bear. They give you this little insert that I'm going to try to somehow stick to the top here so I don't have to keep going back and forth, but for right now I gotta go back and forth. So I'm taking Bear on my Y15, and I'm just going to put that in my crease evenly from outer to inner corner. Because this is a halo eye, so we don't want to put too much emphasis on the outer corner. We want to make the whole thing very rounded. I'm going to take my It Brushes for Ulta Absolute Shadow Brush, because it's very compact this way, so it'll fit in the crease very nicely, and the shade Canvas. And again, just evenly from outer to inner corner in the crease, just buff that in. Now I'm going to take my Y17 and just run that through a couple of times just to blend those two shades together. Now with my Y19, I'm going to take the shade Sunder, S-U-N-D-E-R, and I'm just doing the same thing, evenly from outer to inner corner, in the crease. We're just layering colors so that we get that nice gradient look. And I'm going to try to keep this a little bit lower in the crease so that it fades from lighter to darker. So one thing I'm noticing, because I'm doing a little bit of a first impressions thing here, and I noticed this when I first used the transition colors. In the pans, these three here look very neutral, and then on at least my skin tone, they're coming out very, very warm, almost orange, which isn't a bad thing. I like these tones. It's just not what I'm seeing in the pan, and I don't know if it's from mixing them or what, but just a heads up. Okay, I'm going to take that Y17 again and just run that through a little bit to make sure everything's blended. Alright, and to further build up that color, or, those colors in the crease, I'm going to go in with this shade here, which is Sculpt. Okay, and on my Y18, like I said, just doing the same thing, building up those colors. I'm trying to keep this lower though, which is why you see me at such a steep angle here, because that's going to keep that lower in my crease. That Y17 one more time at a really nice steep angle just so that everything stays low. Okay, I don't have like that much of a plan, but I know I want to do some sort of halo eye, and this blue right now is just really speaking to me. So what I'm gonna do is take my e.l.f. eyeshadow brush and go into, what is it called? Dare Me, which is this one here. And we're going to see how this does dry first, and then if needed or wanted, I'll go in and I'll wet it. And I'm just going to pack this on the outer corner. Okay, it's not bad dry, but it's looking kind of matte and is a little bit powdery. Nothing awful, but a little powdery. So I'm going to use my Morphe Continuous Setting Spray, which I just got and I'm excited about. Spritz that a little bit, and then try this again. Yeah, I'm much happier with that. That's not quite as powdery. Okay. And for me and my eye shape with a halo eye, I just go as wide as this brush is. I just pat the brush on the outer corner, and that's as far in as I go. For you and your eye shape, you may need something different. You may need to go a little further in, you may need to stay a little further out. That's for you to determine. And yes, I see this here. I will fix that. Okay, so for the inner corner, the eyeshadow C brush from e.l.f. is a little wide. So I'm going to go in with my smoothing concealer brush from Ulta. It's just a, I've heard it called cat tongue or flat tongue, but it's just this flat sort of concealer brush. But this one's a little like extra wide and seems a little fluffy for a concealer brush. So I like. Casey! Hey! Thank you. So I like to use it for eyeshadow periodically. And I'm going to pack this on the inner corner of my eye, just as wide as this is. So you can see I'm not moving the pigment around, I'm not making it any wider than this brush is. So when I use these two brushes in combination, the lines of the blue stop at either side of my iris. So that's my rule of thumb for a halo eye. Have your inner and outer corner color come in as far as the outer edges of your iris. So I think I'm going to go in with Artistic on my G15. Again, I'm going to see how this goes on dry, and then if needed, I'll wet the brush. Okay, this is going on really nicely dry. It's not quite as dry as the blue one was. It's a little creamier. So I'm just going to pack this on that bare portion of the lid. Okay, so I'm going to take my e.l.f. eye crease brush, and on the blue, just the blue, I'm going to blend in the crease so that we don't have a harsh edge there. And I'm actually going to grab our first transition shade, which was, I believe, Bear. Yes, Bear. And I'm going to grab that just to help me out with the blending here. And if your colors have gotten a little, or if your blue has gotten a little too blended on the lid, not in the crease, you want that to be blended, but it's starting to look sort of muted on the lid, you can go back in with either of the brushes you used. I recommend the smaller one. I grabbed the big one out of habit, but I recommend the smaller one just so you can be more precise and just pack a little more color on. Okay, so now I'm going to take my Y22. It's just this small little pencil detail brush sort of thing, and I'm going to take that bronze shade, whatever that was called, and on the edges of the blue and the bronze, I'm going to use this to blend those edges out. Okay, so I'm going to grab my Tarte Unicorn Brush. They don't sell these anymore that I know of, so just any soft, fluffy blending brush is good. And I'm going to do a little 1, 2, and then leave it, because we don't want to mix the blue into anything. We want the blue to be blended, but we don't want it to mix with things because then it gets muddy. Okay, and then to add just a little bit more of a pop to the center, I'm going to take my Tarte glitter liner in white gold, and I'm going to take the glitter side, and I'm just packing that over the bronze shade. And I'm looking down while that dries so I don't get a whole bunch of transfer up onto my brow bone and all that. Alright, eyeliner. I am using my e.l.f. liquid liner in black. This is not my favorite liquid liner. It does the job, but I've used other liquid liners that I like better. But this is the only black one I have, and I want black for this. So I'm going to do my lower lash line after I do all of my complexion stuff. Okay, I'm going to take my Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation. And I feel like actually doing some cream contouring today. You can do this under your foundation if you choose. That'll give a very natural look. I'm going for a little more glam than that, so I'm going to do it on top of my foundation. So I'm going to take my Naked Skin Shapeshifter palette and go to the cream contour over here. And just right in the hollows of my cheek, I'm going to apply that. And this blends out so nicely, so don't be afraid to, go in. Unless you're going for like a natural thing and then, less. I'm taking my Tarte Unicorn Contour Brush. Again, I don't think they make these. Any flat contour brush, the e.l.f. one is good. Let me show you this one. The denser, the better, because denser brushes just move cream better. And I'm gonna blend this up toward my hairline and up under my cheekbone. Okay, so I went in a little heavy. But this is actually a good learning opportunity. So what you can do when you have too much cream contour, as long as you haven't set it yet, you can take your foundation, put it on the contour, and just blend it out over said contour. And that's a trick I actually use purposely sometimes, because it just gives a very natural yet structured look. I didn't mean to do it this time, but it works out. And then if you need to hide it a little more, you could just add more foundation. And that's something that I really like about this foundation in particular, is it layers really nicely. So I can just keep adding and adding more foundation if needed. But I'm happy with this. So I'm just gonna finish up the rest of my face using a lighter hand. Okay, that is done. Some people will then go over where they put the cream contour and set it with another contour shade. That gets a little dark for me personally, so I'm going to set it with regular powder. But first, I'm going to conceal and highlight. So I'm going to take my NARS Radiant Creamy Concealer in Chantilly, whatever. And I do one eye at a time so that it doesn't have as much time to settle in my fine lines, because that's a big thing for me. I'm taking my Y10, and I'm just going to tap this out. And then just finish up blending right under my eye, because the warmth from my finger just really helps the blending. And then I'm going to grab my e.l.f. HD setting powder. If you're going to be taking pictures with a flash, I would recommend like the Cover FX Perfect Setting Powder or the Too Faced Ethereal Powder, because this is going to flash back, those won't. And I'm just going to take my Y11 and set this. Okay, and now I'm going to jump to my nose contour. I did it this way because I've started baking the sides of my nose, and the powder, if it gets on there before my concealer does, it screws the whole thing up. So I do my under eye before my nose contour so that the powder from the nose contour doesn't get onto my under eye, but I did the rest of this first because habit. So I'm going to take my Y23, it's just a regular angled brush, and that cream contour shade, and just draw 2 straight lines down the sides of my nose. This works for my nose shape. If you have a nose shape different from mine, you should go look up your nose shape for how to contour that. And then I'm going to take this just dome top brush that came with a foundation that I didn't like, but I liked the brush. And I'm just going to blend this. Any small fluffy brush will do. An eyeshadow brush, anything. Okay, so now I'm going to take my little medium sponge here. And on the sides of my nose, right under where I applied that contour, I'm going to just pack on some powder. And then down at the center of my nose. And under my cheek contour. And we'll just let that bake for a couple minutes. While that bakes, I'm going to jump back to my under eye, I guess. So I'm going to take my Y20, it's just a little dome top pencil brush. And I'm going to take a mix of Bare and I think Canvas, it's just the one next to it, and pretty evenly from inner to outer corner, I'm just going to smoke that out. And I am connecting it up here with the blue. And then on my Y21, I'm going to go in with this shade here. That is called Sculpt, and just press this right onto my lower lash line all the way across. And I'm going to go back with that Y20 and just blend that out. And then I'm going to go in with my e.l.f. waterproof gel waterproof gel eyeliner pencil in black. I'm just popping this on my lower waterline. And then I'm actually going to take one of my nail teas and the Dare to Create palette, and I'm going to go into the black shade down at the corner here. I try to avoid using my brushes with black shades because black can be hard to get off and it can be hard to tell that it's on some of my darker brushes, and then I don't notice, and then I end up with black everywhere when I go to use it again. So I like using a Q-tip for this. And I'm just going to set that lower waterline with the black eyeshadow. Alright, and then on that Y20 again, I'm going to take this darker brown shade, Cat Eye. It is called Cat Eye. And I'm going to use that to just blend out the black. Okay, and I kind of just made a mess of that, but that's fixable. I'm going to go in with my Y22. Okay, I'm going back in with the shade Canvas and that Y22 just to lighten and blend this out. Now I'm just taking that my Y18 and just blending some more. Okay, fixed that. I'm gonna give my eyes a break. My eyes are watering like crazy. My eyes just don't like me blending out my under eye. I'm gonna take my Y3 and just wipe off this bake. Okay, and since I have, not set my entire face and I was doing my under eye and stuff, I've made creases and stuff in my foundation. So I'm just going back over that with my sponge real quick. And now with my Y1, I'm going in to my powder, and I'm going to just lightly tap this all over my face, including my cream contour. But I'm not putting it on my under eye or anywhere else I put powder before. So like under my contour, on my nose, because that's all set, that's all done. And we don't want to add too much powder, because then things start to get heavy and cakey and weird. Okay, so I'm going to do my eyebrows. The very next video I film is going to be an updated brow tutorial. So I'm going to skip over this part and check out my next video to see my new brow routine, because I finally have figured out what I'm doing with my eyebrows. Okay, brows are done. So I'm gonna move on to brow highlighting and inner corner highlighting. I really want the center of my eye to be the focus here, so I'm going with a matte highlight. I'm gonna use the matte cream shade here. Any matte cream white bone shade is good. And I'm gonna pop this under the arch of my brow and on my inner corner. And I'm not swooping it like up or under, it's just right on the corner. Done. Okay, for highlighting the face, I'm going to go in with Champagne Pop, because I think it's gonna go with the bronze shade, but not clash with the blue, you know? And I'm gonna take my Y14 and put this on the high points of my cheekbones, the center of my nose, and my cupid's bow. All that's left is mascara, lashes, and lipstick. So before I go in and do my mascara and my lashes, I'm going to set my face. I set my face before I do my lash and mascara so that my mascara doesn't get wet, and if I blink, it transfers everywhere. And before my lashes too, so that my lashes don't get wet, because getting your lashes wet can damage them. So this first. And I'm going to pat in that setting spray so that it really just, and my eyes are closed so that if any got on my eyes, it dries first. So I'm patting this in so that it really gets into the skin, locks everything in, and it cuts down on the powderiness of the whole shebang. All set with that. Now, mascara. I just got the Tarte Lash Paint, and I really like it so far. So I'm going to use that. This is just a little sample size. Okay, so I'm going to use my Tarte lashes in center of attention. Okay, so I'm going to take my Duo Lash Glue, and I'm just going to pop these suckers on. I left my tweezers in the other room. Let's see how this goes without the tweezers, and then I will go get the tweezers if I need. Oh, nah, screw this, I need the tweezers. Okay, I know I still only have one lash on, but Casey came wandering up and apparently wanted to be in the video. So I stopped what I was doing to put her in the video. Big. Okay, lashes on. So since there is just so much going on the eye, my preference would be just a straight up regular nude. So I'm taking Nearly Nude. It's the matte lip color from e.l.f. Okay, and there we go. The look is complete. My first impressions of the Dare to Create 39A palette are, I love this. I love the colors. I love the idea of the transition shades being bigger pans, because you do go through your transition shades faster. Some of the metallics and the funky shades can be a little dry, but nothing a little setting spray can't fix. Yeah, I really like this. I will continue to use it. And there is my look with it. Thank you so much for watching. I really appreciate you being here. Make sure to like and comment and subscribe and all that good stuff. Let me know what colors you would like to see me use in here. I'll give you a look at it. If there's anything specifically you want to see how I would use, just let me know. And my dog almost knocked over my light. Oh my god. Casey, don't do that. So just let me know, and I will definitely do that for you guys. Yeah, that's all I have to say. Happy 2018, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye, guys. I love you. Mwah. Okay. I should have flipped my brushes around before I started. Okay, almost done. Just need lipstick. If you have a Casey, stop. Stop it.